Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you've all had a great week and weekend so far. I'm Taylor, and it's time for the Weekly Rundown. How you act when no one's watching says a lot about you, and a UPS driver showed his true patriotic colors in this viral video. The driver was just doing his job until he takes a few extra moments outside of his day to fix a rolled up American flag. Chelsea Ashley was getting ready for the day when she and her kiddos heard the doorbell ring. So she checked her doorbell app, as most do now, and caught him doing the good deed. But by the time she had got out there, he had just pulled away. He didn't even know anyone was watching, but now hundreds have viewed the video on social media, including a veteran who cried while watching. Chelsea says she's just glad people are seeing this.
That flag stands for so much. It's so heavy. And I want everyone to know how much we respect our vets. Just something uplifting and positive right now because of everything going on, right now.
No one knows who the delivery driver is, but he sure is getting a lot of praise from strangers. Now, graduating college is a big deal, but it's an even bigger deal for Jack Rico because he's only 13 years old, which makes him the youngest graduate of Fullerton College. Yep, he's a SoCal boy. And get this, he now has 4 associate degrees under his belt. But he's not stopping there. He's headed to the University of Nevada on a full scholarship to get a BS in history. So what does he want to do with all his degrees?
Well, I mean, I'm 13, so I don't want to rush everything. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I just want to focus on learning right now because that's what I love to do.
Jack started college when he was 11 years old and earned those 4 degrees in just 2 years. When he's not studying, Jack likes to pick up his controller and hit the couch for some video games. And if Jack surprises you, then Seth will too.
That's me when I was 10 years old, right after I finished high school.
This Alabama teen has earned a high school diploma, a bachelor's degree, and a law school degree all before the age of 19, and the young man isn't done yet. Next on the agenda, the Alabama bar exam. Right now, Seth is working as a law clerk at the Beasley Allen Law Firm in Montgomery.
The next phase is to just be the very best staff attorney I can be and serve my clients every day.
And if he passes the bar exam in July, he will become the youngest lawyer in modern recorded Alabama history. I wonder who's the youngest of them all then. And a little side note, one of Seth's younger sisters is a second-year law school student right now, and she's just 17 years old.
Starting law school at 16 was fun. I think the greatest challenge was probably just moving out at 16.
Okay, I'm so impressed. I moved out at 20 and that was enough for me, and yet I still go home whenever I get a chance. Now in Arizona, a raceway teamed up with 4 local high schools to give seniors a graduation to remember. More than 1,000 students, along with their families and friends, gathered at the Phoenix Raceway. The raceway gave the seniors the opportunity to drive the track and take one final lap. As you can see, seniors wore their graduation caps and gowns and held signs out of decorated vehicles. It was a celebration many in the class thought they wouldn't have.
I thought we weren't going to have anything, that was going to be the end of it,
We did get that taken away from us, so now we kind of have a chance to just kind of celebrate the class of 2020.
And while we're still on the school beat, these grads got quite a surprise. Brad Pitt. He surprised graduates at Missouri State University with a video message posted on MSU's Twitter feed.
Hi everyone, Brad here from quarantine with a shout out to the graduating class of Missouri State University. Yeah! Must be very strange doing this in these trying times, but no, we're rooting for you.
Pitt's a native of Springfield, Missouri, where the university is located. Now to Initiative Courtesy Pantry. Some of Riverside County's youngest residents are pitching in to put smiles on neighbors' faces. Daisy Girl Scout Troop 354 from Wildemar has been filling pantry boxes with food and colorful hand-drawn cards to brighten the days of seniors in self-isolation. The girls, who are in kindergarten and 1st grade, also sponsored boxed oranges for shut-in seniors with funds raised from their annual cookie sales. Many of the scouts have grandparents who they miss and can't visit right now, so these activities keep the girls connected to our seniors. 3,000 pantry boxes have been provided to seniors by Courtesy Pantry so far, and this is all in partnership with Riverside County Office of Aging, the Salvation Army, Habitat for Humanity, and Eat Marketplace.
Let it go.
A theater major from Dallas found a way to help neighborhood kids let it go by showing up as Queen Elsa and singing songs from the movie Frozen. Maya Hernandez Pearson is a theater major from Sam Houston State University. At home, she was missing an audience, so she took her show on the road, and now she's performing in Dallas neighborhoods to audiences filled with the young and the young at heart. Well, I guess good neighbors are just a thing now. Check these guys out. Musicians in a Brooklyn neighborhood are cranking out an inspired rendition of Joe Zonifel's Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. Some joyful noise for a moment of lockdown levity. These guys are actually just friends from the neighborhood, and they play nearly every evening to bring happiness to their community. Churches in Northern Ireland might be closed, but the jig isn't up. Priests in County Armagh have been helping to keep parishioners' spirits up by Irish dancing. Father Colin Wright, Deacon Kevin Devine, and Noel McCann took to the altar to perform a jaunty jig. Now, honestly, I didn't know what this was until I looked it up, and it's kind of a catchy little dance. Cincinnati Reds pitching prospect Hunter Green is showing off some pinpoint accuracy as he looks to stay in shape. The 20-year-old posted this trick pitch on social media, and you have to slow it down to see how that ball made its way to the catcher's mitt. The ball travels through the window of a driverless vehicle. A pitch like that likely won't come in handy this next time he's on the mound, but pretty cool trick shot nonetheless. Green is coming off Tommy John surgery and is the top pitching prospect for the Reds. Now, does the Tooth Fairy give extra quarters for creativity? Because if so, this boy deserves one. Check it out. This young boy assists his brother in losing his first tooth by taking a slap shot. That's right, the boys tied a string around the younger brother's loose tooth and taped the other end to the puck. Then without hesitation, the older brother rips a slap shot, yanking the tooth right out, and little bro was extremely happy about it. Are your kids spending extra hours on electronics because there's nothing else to do? Well, here's an idea to keep them busy, if you're brave enough to let them do this, that is. These brothers hand dug a 26-foot rainwater swimming pool in the backyard. Okay. 19-year-old Adam and his 15-year-old brother Edward came up with the idea about a year ago, but never had time to dig out the 50 tons of earth, and now they do, so they dragged their pops in on the fun too.
Thought, yeah, we may as well try it, so we spoke to Mum and Dad about it, and Dad didn't really want to do it, but yeah, we managed to let us do it in the end, so yeah, now we've got this.
Those three have been digging all day, every day for the past week, and with this week's heat wave, that sounds real nice right about now, even if it is just a big mud bath. Now, for some reason, I found a lot of good stories about animals this week. So coming up after the break, we're checking in on some dogs, squirrels, llamas, and bears. Oh my, stick around, the weekly rundown will be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to the weekly rundown, where we wrap up what's been trending throughout the week. Now, as I said before the break, we're checking in on some fun little animals now. I'm not sure why there were so many stories based on creatures this week, but hey, I'm not complaining. The Kansas City Zoo brought some of their penguins to a museum, and the Humboldt penguins were given free rein. They waddled around to appreciate fine art and culture, as it deserves. The trip was called an enrichment experience by the zoo and was for the penguins to stimulate their minds. I think I need to take a trip to stimulate my mind too. Perhaps laying on a beach in Hawaii will do. A Belgian man has some unexpected feathered neighbors, a nest of eagle owls in his window box. The eagle owls are typically forest dwellers, and it is very unusual to see them in the city. Joss Bart noticed the three little babies like to watch his TV. Smart birds. The three baby owls are getting bigger every day and will likely be around for at least 2 more months. If you want to score some soccer goals in your living room, well, don't get a cat and name it after one of the world's best goalies. Chris Dixon found this out the hard way after naming his cat Meow Noel Neuer after German keeper Manuel Neuer. And by the looks of this, Chris may never score again. Fittingly, Meow Noel has some cat-like reflexes and blocks every shot Chris takes. Good luck, Mr. Dixon, on finding the back of the net against this nimble keeper. A curious squirrel has made friends with a German family and now gets to enjoy its very own miniature beer garden. The squirrel is simply nuts about the tiny picnic table, made especially for its small paws. A bored 10-year-old built the table, and as his area reopened beer gardens this week, the squirrel was able to join in on the tradition. He and his mother have been leaving food on the table, complete with a tiny beer mug filled with nuts, seeds, and raisins. They named the curious squirrel Madame. She now visits their patio at least once a day and now has her own Instagram account where several people have already commissioned the 10-year-old to make similar tiny tables for them. Okay, now you've got to see this. A 12-year-old boy in Italy stayed calm and slowly walked away when a bear started following him. The family says Alessandro was walking ahead of them when he told his dad to start recording. His mom says the bear was not aggressive and it eventually ran off. And Alessandro says he just didn't look the bear in the eyes to show he didn't mean any harm. Props to him because I definitely would have been crying. The usual children's reading programs are a little bit different these days. Practice reading sessions for kids have gone, well, virtual.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Looking forward to an awesome session today.
In Washington, D.C., volunteers used to take therapy dogs into local libraries for the kids to read to. But since kids can't go to the library, they're reading their books to the dogs online. Now, dogs make a great audience for the new readers with the help of a volunteer. They patiently listen, and the kids get much needed practice reading out loud. Parents seem to like the virtual sessions too. The meeting times give parents a break and the comfort of knowing their kids are involved in a worthwhile activity. And I'm told demand in Washington, D.C. is huge and the sessions fill up very fast.
Congratulations, Moose.
Now, some much-deserved recognition for a student body's best friend. Virginia Tech gave an honorary doctorate in veterinary medicine to this therapy dog named Moose. The 8-year-old Labrador Retriever has been a therapy dog at the school since 2014, helping students cope with anxiety, trauma, and other issues. He has assisted in more than 7,500 counseling sessions. What a good boy. A llama has been making food deliveries to remote properties. The owners of a llama farm decided to try and do something positive after their business was shut down by the virus. They've taken Max the llama to visit people while they deliver food to cheer him up. Max delivers food supplies several times a week, and according to the owners, llama delivery is not only eco-friendly, but most of all, it's a safe alternative for those who should stay home and not risk catching the virus.
I was very excited. First time I've ever had beer delivered by a couple of dogs. Yeah. So it makes the beer extra special.
You heard that right. A New York brewery is putting smiles on customers' faces. But it's not just the beer that's making them happy, it's actually these two, Buddy and Barley. The Golden Retrievers are jumping into the family business, delivering beer for Six Harbors Brewing Company in Long Island. Both Buddy and Barley bring empty cans to customers, while everyone else does the heavy lifting. The dogs have become unofficial therapy dogs, delivering the kind of cheer you can't put a price on. Now, can someone start this in the Coachella Valley? Because I would be sold. We continue to show off all of the creativity out there during this time, and it's not stopping at animals. It's hitting store shelves too. Coming up after the break, we're checking out some awesome things hitting the market, nail polish you'll never think of, and some feel-good goodies. The Weekly Rundown will be right back. Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. Okay everyone, so do you think this is going to be the new reality? Vending machines full of masks. That's right, gaming hardware maker Razer is planning to dispense face masks from vending machines. They're initially going to deploy in Singapore, but I'm sure we could expect them here very soon. Okay, now this is interesting. A new food-scented nail polish collection will have you smelling like your favorite snack. It's Sinful Colors Sweet and Salty Collection. The scented nail polish comes in sweet scents, chocolate cake, cookies and cream, and donut, or salty scents like cheese puff, pizza party, and Taco Tuesday. Some early reviewers say the polish actually smells good, and you can find the collection at Walmart. I'm not sure if I'm down for that. I mean, like, what if you're on a diet and you just smell cheese puffs all day? Now, I love this story. This is something I always wish I had when I was young. Crayola is launching 24 new specially formulated crayons designed to mirror and represent over 40 skin tones. The collection is called Colors of the World, and Crayola hopes the new line will cultivate a more inclusive world for children of all ages, races, cultures, and ethnicities. Crayola partnered with the CEO of Mob Beauty, who has more than 30 years of experience creating foundation colors for skin tones around the globe. The crayons will begin to hit shelves in July. For restaurateurs worrying about how they can welcome back customers but keep them safe, well, a French designer has a solution: an oversized lampshade. Look at that. The designer behind the invention said designs that are already on the market looked like booths in prison visiting rooms and aren't inviting for customers. But I mean, a cylindrical device hanging from a cable on the ceiling? I guess it's pretty trendy. The designer says his goal was to make safe dining more glamorous. And from one cool thing to the next, an entrepreneur in Puerto Rico has built the first mass-produced electric surfboard that flies. Well, sort of. Check it out.
Welcome to Puerto Rico. My name is Nick Gleason, and I want to show you how to lift. This is no ordinary surfboard. It is an electric-powered hydrofoil surfboard. It is a surfboard that flies over the water.
We started Lift Foils in the year 2010, building surfboards, kiteboards, stand-up paddleboards, and hydrofoils for kite surfing. Since that time, we've evolved our hydrofoils into the e-foil system, which is much more complex.
The hydrofoil below the board is a wing keel made of carbon fiber. You have an electric battery inside the board that propels an electric motor, and you have a Bluetooth wireless hand controller to control your speed. So you pull the lever, move forward, shift your weight back, come up and surf.
My advice to entrepreneurs as they're starting their business, you should be thinking in the back of your mind that it can be bigger, so that as you implement systems, you want these systems to be able to handle larger volumes. For me, success is being happy and enjoying what I do and providing a product or a service that other people find, that improves their life, that makes them happy. And right now I'm doing that.
I told y'all that was a cool one to try. I mean, I'd try it out. A woman in Connecticut is designing what she dubbed quarantine bears, or cutie bears for short. It's a fun way for kids to learn safety. The bear has its own mask and a matching mask for the child, plus a handwritten note of a list of ways to stay safe. If listening to Disney theme songs takes you to a relaxing place, then this story is for you. Calm, the app for sleep, meditation, and relaxation, has added classic Disney songs to its playlist. The piano instrumentals from movies like Mulan and Cinderella are designed to help users manage stress and sleep better. While they can't guarantee it'll help you live happily ever after, if you're stressed, I'm sure it couldn't hurt.
Just look them in the eyes and say, Mom, Dad, I'm...
Happy moving day!
Pixar's new short film Out features the studio's first gay lead character. The short, which runs just under 10 minutes, debuted on Disney+, the streaming service. The story is about a young man named Greg who's afraid to tell his parents he's gay and is worried that they will see a picture of him and his boyfriend when they come to help him move. People shared their reactions on Twitter with the hashtag #PixarOut, and many said they cried watching it and wish it'd been around when they were growing up. After the break, we're checking in with Manny. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. With movie theaters not open quite yet, we're still relying on streaming services. Well, Manny the Movie Guy reviews 3 new movies released this week, 1 documentary, and 2 about music.
Hello, movie buffs. Let's go to space with Space Force.
The president is creating a new branch, Space Force, which Mark will run.
What?
Steve Carell reteams with The Office executive producer Greg Daniels to give us this bland and undercooked comedy that's ripped from the headlines. Too soft to be a satire, this 10-episode Netflix series is a big disappointment. The story about the real Space Force is a lot darker and comically infused.
My main concern is our head scientist.
The series could not find its groove, but there are some good qualities, including some impressive special effects, and the relationship between Carell and the head scientist played wonderfully by John Malkovich.
A little untrustworthy.
Space Force is forgettable, but there are some gems you need to explore far into space. And for that, Space Force gets 2.5 out of 4 spaced out kisses. New on demand is The High Note. Tracy Ellis Ross embodies her mom, Diana Ross, to star as Grace Davis, a singing superstar. Her personal assistant, Maggie, is played by Dakota Johnson, who really wants to be a music producer. Guess how this movie is going to end?
I'm not going to tell you guys you're great if you're not great.
Lovingly directed by Nisha Ganatra, the film refuses cliched formula but ends up using a tacked-on ending that rings false. Yet, good performances and assured direction lift this up from being a Star is Born wannabe. And for that, The High Note gets 3 out of 4 Ain't No Mountain High Enough kisses.
What about singing? Singing.
And finally, new on Hulu is Military Wives, a film based on actual events that is unabashedly formulaic but also brilliantly accomplished. Big credit goes to Kristen Scott Thomas and Sharon Horgan, so good as our military wives. While their husbands are serving in Afghanistan, they formed a choir that became a global movement.
And I need you.
From Peter Cataneo, the guy who gave us the full Monty, Military Wives is funny and sweet with a great soundtrack. Prepare to feel good.
I love it. It sang its way to my heart.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, Military Wives gets 3.5 out of 4 Sing Your Heart Out kisses. I'm Manny the Movie Guy, and Military Wives is my pick of the week.
The High Note might just be my go-to this week. We'll be right back. Today is a great national day. It's National Smile Day. The first recorded smile on record took place in 126 BC. Okay, we made that up, but did you smile? Have a good week, everyone. I'll see you right here next Sunday. Make it a week full of smiles, would ya?